Each year, thousands of people worldwide experience close encounters with UFOs.
They report the same kind of craft, the usual cigar shape, saucer shape, triangular shape, ships that you can see through.
What are these different kinds of UFOs? What is their purpose? The study and classification of UFOs represents a new frontier for science. Join us as we investigate key types of UFOs and reveal that most sightings may just be the tip of the iceberg. On Unsealed, Alien Files. A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Unsealed, Alien Files. Exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Socorro, New Mexico, April 24th, 1964. Officer Lonnie Zamora is chasing a speeding car when he spots a massive flame bursting into the sky near a local dynamite shack. It's followed by a deafening roar. Fearing an explosion, Zamora abandons his highway pursuit and sets out into the desert to investigate. There, he will have an extraordinary close encounter with an iconic object in one of the best documented UFO sightings in history. Unsealed case file. The Lonnie Zamora incident. Zamora spots a large metallic object that at first glance appears to be an overturned car. But on closer examination, it's like aluminum and shaped like a letter O. Standing next to it are two small figures in white overalls that he at first takes to be small adults or possibly children. Zamora gets out of his car to question the mysterious pair. Suddenly, he's startled by the same deafening roar from minutes earlier. A flame bursts from beneath the object, lifting it into the air. It passes over his head and disappears into the distance. Following the encounter, Lonnie Zamora provides the FBI with one of the most detailed descriptions of a UFO on record. The agents are impressed by his sincerity, yet they cannot explain his observations. Zamora describes a craft the world has come to know as a flying saucer. It's a term coined in 1947 by pilot Kenneth Arnold, who reported a swarm of disc-shaped UFOs in the sky near Mount Rainier, Washington. The experienced flyer estimated their speed at 1,700 miles per hour. Reports of extreme velocities are common to saucer sightings, along with twists and turns that defy physical laws. September 15, 1991. The Space Shuttle Discovery captures stunning video evidence of a flying saucer flying over Australia at an estimated speed of 54,000 miles per hour. Any in-flight maneuvers at this velocity would generate G-forces far beyond the realm of human endurance. In addition to their lightning speed, flying saucers are infamous for their involvement in cases of human abduction. Many victims are subjected to cruelly invasive medical examinations and even surgery in on-board operating rooms. The first modern documented flying saucer abduction happened in rural New Hampshire in 1961. Betty and Barney Hill claim they were driving at night when they were abducted and taken aboard a craft Barney would later describe as pancake-shaped. Later, under hypnosis, both claim that while on board, they underwent extensive medical examinations. Since then, thousands all over the world have come forward with similar claims. Could the flying saucer be designed to conduct these lightning-fast abductions and medical procedures? Is it a kind of scientific research ship? And if it is, are the many other kinds of UFOs designed for a specific purpose as well? Coming up, we investigate the infamous Black Triangle and reveal its potentially mind-altering effects. This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. For decades, eyewitnesses all over the world have reported encounters with UFOs of all shapes and sizes. But what are the secrets behind each type? And are some more dangerous than others? Unsealed case file. The Rendlesham Forest Incident. Ipswich, England, December 26, 1980. American airmen stationed at the twin RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge air bases see strange lights emanating from nearby Rendlesham Forest.
John Burroughs and Jim Penniston, together with some other military personnel, sought permission to go out into the forest to investigate what they initially thought was a crashed aircraft. When Burroughs and Penniston approached the site, they found in a small clearing not a crashed aircraft, but a landed UFO.
It's a black, triangular-shaped craft. The security team claimed to have approached close enough to make note of strange markings on the hull that resemble Egyptian hieroglyphics. The men quickly returned to base to report what they found. But when another patrol is dispatched, they find nothing more than 3 indentations in the ground where the UFO once stood, possibly left by the craft's landing gear. A Geiger counter picks up heightened levels of radiation in the small depressions. News of the sighting spreads like wildfire throughout the UFO community. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, the deputy base commander, is skeptical at first, until he receives word 2 days later that the Black Triangle has returned.
Colonel Holt threw together a small team of men and went out into the forest to investigate. In Colonel Holt's words, he went out there to try and put this whole business to bed, to debunk this UFO nonsense. Colonel Holt was not able to debunk this UFO nonsense because he himself ended up seeing the UFO. Colonel Holt routinely carried with him a handheld tape recorder on which it was his custom and practice to record his observations and thoughts.
This classic recording reveals the veteran military man driven to a state of near panic by a close encounter of the second kind.
Hey, I see it too. It's coming this way. It looks like an eye winking at you. He's coming toward us now. Now we're observing what appears to be a beam coming down to the ground.
Despite this compelling evidence, the British government blames the incident on an atmospheric phenomenon known as charged plasma, which creates an electrical field that can induce hallucinations and other psychological effects in those nearby. Was the Rendlesham incident really just a trick of the light? Black triangles have appeared many times in the years since Rendlesham Forest, inducing similar hallucinatory visions. This has led some experts to conclude that the bizarre phenomena are in fact generated by the black triangles themselves to keep their presence secret. But are strange visions all we have to fear from UFOs? Dayton, Texas, December 29, 1980. Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Landrum's grandson Colby are cruising a rural highway at night when out of nowhere, a bright diamond-shaped object appears above their car. They stop and get out for a better view, only to allegedly experience a wall of blazing heat emanating from the UFO. Moments later, a fleet of unmarked helicopters arrive overhead. The UFO quickly disappears into the night, followed by the helicopters in hot pursuit, paying no attention to the victims below. Over the next few days, the women begin to feel ill. They show signs of severe sunburn and experience hair loss. Cash's symptoms worsen until she can't walk. She loses patches of skin and hair. 2 weeks after the incident, she is admitted to hospital for 12 days. Their medical prognosis? Doctors conclude all 3 victims were exposed to a form of ionizing radiation. The Cash Landrum incident will become one of the best documented alien encounters in history. But many disturbing questions remain. What was the source of their radiation burns? And if their encounter with the diamond-shaped UFO was simply an accident, could exposure to the UFO's propulsion system have caused the radiation sickness? But while most UFO sightings are of single, smaller spaceships, there is another more ominous class of spaceships that strike fear in the hearts of all who witness them. Coming up, we investigate the possible presence of gargantuan UFOs in our skies and what they might mean for the future of the human race. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. For decades, UFO encounters have spread fear and anxiety all over the world. But these aren't the only type of craft identified in eyewitness reports. There is another breed of spacecraft seen in our skies, one that may represent the greatest threat of all. Unsealed Case File. The Battle of Los Angeles. Los Angeles, June 14th, 1992. Dozens of witnesses report multiple UFOs in the night sky over Santa Monica Bay. But in a strange twist, they say the objects didn't enter the city's airspace from above. They rose out of the ocean. And it's not the first time a UFO threat has appeared over the waters of Los Angeles. February 1942. America has just entered the Second World War. In the early hours of February 25th, a strange aircraft appears over the city. Fearing a Japanese attack, anti-aircraft batteries immediately open fire. Thousands of witnesses watch as the U.S. military fires over 1,000 rounds at the hovering UFO. But the craft is unaffected, and then, as quickly as it appeared, it vanishes into the night without a trace. The incident becomes known as the Battle of Los Angeles. But in the aftermath, the Navy dismisses the idea that any battle happened at all. They claim the UFO was only a weather balloon and consider the case closed. The Battle of Los Angeles marked the city's first recorded UFO sighting. But it wouldn't be the last. Over the decades that follow, Los Angeles will become one of the world's most active UFO hotspots, experiencing threats from above and below its coastal waters.
The fascinating thing is it might mean there's an underwater base in the Pacific Ocean or in Santa Monica Bay or in the Redondo Trench off Southern California. That has tremendous implications because when people say, how do UFOs get back and forth from outer space? The answer is they don't. They're right here in LA.
Compelling evidence of such an installation would surface in 2010 in the form of a National Science Foundation photo of the seafloor off Catalina Island. Many scientists, however, have dismissed the dome-shaped structures as naturally occurring volcanic formations. But ufologists believe there could be something else lurking beneath the waves of Southern California, launching UFOs into the skies over Los Angeles. Unsealed Case File. The Stephenville Mothership. Stephenville, Texas, January 8, 2008. Multiple eyewitnesses report strange lights in the sky over the small town. Steve Allen is piloting a private plane. He too sees the lights, describing them as glowing orbs. And they're not alone. The orbs appear to be flying in formation before a massive UFO. The pilot estimates the UFO to be an astounding 1.5 miles long and 0.5 mile wide. Ufologists will dub this type of massive craft a mothership. Rick Sorrells is hunting when the mothership appears just 300 feet over his head. He describes it as a seamless metal craft with strange indentations along the bottom, each of which he recalls being at least 3 football fields long. Sorrells later goes public with what he has seen, stating, "I hope it's our military. If it's not ours, then we're in trouble." According to pilot Steve Allen, the military was well aware of the gargantuan UFO. During his encounter, he spotted 2 fighter jets in pursuit of the craft and the accompanying orbs. Federal Aviation Administration radar records back up the eyewitness reports, revealing tremendous activity in the area that evening. But the U.S. military later tells a very different story. It claims to be unaware of any activity in the area, and mounting evidence is casting a shadow of doubt on this sweeping denial. Rick Sorrells has since claimed that he was threatened and harassed by a number of government agencies after going public with his story. And an independent Mutual UFO Network study of the events reveals the radar report clearly demonstrates that there are in fact unknown craft with superior flight capabilities far beyond known technology, operating and moving at will within controlled airspace. MUFON also claims that radar records had been deleted from military planes in the area that night. Was the giant Stephenville UFO, in fact, a mothership? Could there be another huge spacecraft lurking in the waters off Southern California? And if so, how many of these spacecraft and their satellite vessels are threatening the world's skies? Coming up, we uncover terrifying evidence of an invisible alien threat to planet Earth. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. The time to act is now. Tell us your story. Get involved in the fight to unseal the truth. Now. Flying saucers, black triangles, and gigantic motherships have been reported in skies all over the world. But shocking new evidence has revealed the extent of alien activity overhead may be greater than we have ever imagined. May 5th, 2004. A Mexican Air Force aircraft is on the hunt for drug smuggling planes when its infrared sensors detect an object invisible to the naked eye. The pilots pursue the object, but just as they close in, the object takes off at lightning speed, only to return moments later and do the unthinkable. It begins to pursue the Mexican aircraft. The hunters have become the hunted. The crew's fear grows when another object appears on the infrared sensor, and then another. Soon they find themselves pursued by no fewer than 11 otherwise invisible UFOs. Luckily, the UFOs break off their pursuit, and the pilots manage to return to their base unharmed, but knowing they will soon have to return to a sky that may be filled with invisible UFOs. If extraterrestrials are employing a sophisticated cloaking technology, there's no telling how many spaceships are populating our skies overhead. Is the average UFO encounter only a scout ship? Is international airspace just a parking lot teeming with cloaked alien motherships? It's a disturbing thought that leaves many people worldwide looking nervously skyward. This is Unsealed Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth.